All right, guys, so I see you're here at the Supreme Court today, and you guys are basically protesting, or what are you guys doing out here?
Well, we're just trying to make sure that when we have presidential elections, that the votes are made from people who actually made the vote, and they were submitted, and it's the best way is to submit them in person and have an official signature. It's obvious that from the mail-in balloting that Trump was elected president on the 3rd of November, and 6 days later, after all the mail-in votes, then Biden's the president. Yeah. And there's all kinds of ballots out there. It's too easy to make illegal ballots. It's too easy to take 50 ballots down into the middle of the city and find some guys and give them $5 each to vote for Biden.
So what are you hoping happens now?
What I'm hoping is that the Supreme Court gets involved and cancels mail-in balloting.
Fraud ballots. We've never in history had mail-in ballots before until this year.
Well, there is some mail-in ballots,
as an excuse.
but like
Absentee ballots.
Oregon is one of the examples where they had mail-in ballots, and look what's happened in Oregon. I mean, they got riots in the streets. They got no cops. They don't want the cops in there. They got people burning down buildings, and so that's what mail-in ballots gets you. It gets you Democrats who don't believe in the rule of law and don't believe in the Constitution. And we're hoping the Supreme Court now can come in and straighten this out.
Now, I'm going to ask you two questions. One, what is the best case scenario? And then after that, I'll ask you what the worst case scenario is for you.
The best case scenario is that the Supreme Court comes in and says you can only do mail-in balloting in extreme cases. Obviously the military has absentee ballots. Obviously people in nursing homes, are not going to come in and vote. So there's certain circumstances where, yes, people can go out and mail in their ballots, but only under extreme emergency circumstances. Otherwise, you don't know where that ballot has been, who signed it, who voted, and it's too easy to harvest ballots.
And then what's the worst case scenario of this playing out?
The worst case is that Biden becomes president, and that's not so bad either, because he's going to do a terrible job. He's not going to be an accepted president of the United States because everybody knows that he didn't win it on election day, that he got it by theft, and hopefully he's not going to have the Senate, so he's not going to be able to do anything except executive orders. And first and second of all, it won't be him doing it anyway, but it'll be Kamala Harris doing it.
Now, let me ask you something. I've seen a lot of passion on both sides and a lot of passion from Trump supporters. If Trump doesn't win this thing, or if it doesn't happen, but he maintains that it was fraud, do you think there's going to be anything that might happen in the streets?
No. That's already happening in the streets. The Democrats have been protesting and looting and burning and killing.
Do you ever expect that to happen on the right ever, or is there a point to where it can be pushed that far?
It would have happened already. But it hasn't.
No, we don't do that.
We don't do that. We never have.
No.
But more, what we need is voter ID. There can be none of this hodgepodge mail-in ballots. They just throw everything into chaotic mode. Unverified. You need solicited votes, not unsolicited. Trump called this all months ago. Absentee ballots are fine. Everybody does it. But mail-in ballots, no. This is the first election that we've had them. And we can't do that. The Supreme Court is going to rest in their hands. They're going to make the decision, and they're going to throw it out.
Now, if they threw out the mail-in ballots, would you think like a do-over election, or what's the kind of options with that?
Well, do-over election. Why not?
At minimum, we're hoping that all those votes that were flagged, as being too late, and hopefully that those will be thrown out.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Brian from Max Muscle. I want to talk a little bit about our company. We're a premium sports nutrition company. All of our products are manufactured in GMP facilities, and we use the best patented ingredients. I want to talk about two products today. Cleanseline, our #1 seller nationwide, and the Max Pro Protein. Start with the Cleanseline. All of us have those days where we go in the bathroom and we just can't seem to get anything out, or we're bloated, we feel gross. Well, the Cleanseline will help with water retention and help keep everything clear so you're not building up all that gunk. And then the Max Pro is our #1 protein. It's been the best-selling protein at Max Muscle for 20 years. It's a blended protein. It's 80% whey isolate, 70% whey isolate, 10% whey concentrate, and 20% casein. It's 30 grams of protein in a 35-gram scoop with only 2 grams of carbohydrates, no sugar, and less than a gram of fat. It's a really, really good protein, tastes great. You can use it any time of the day, before bed, between meals, after workout. I really try it out. You can get it at maxmuscle.com. That's www.maxmuscle.com. Make sure to use my coupon code MMM15. That's M as in Mary, MMM, 3 M's, 15, 1 5. At checkout to save 15%.